Hello Exiles, and today this is going to be video 3 of 5 that I am going to be providing to you in regards to all of the content for the end game that is coming for Path of Exile 2. Now today's video we will be focusing on Ritual, all of which that is coming into Path of Exile 2 with some slight changes. I will detail the changes as we go through it, but today's video is going to primarily focus on Ritual. Now what I would like to say is if you are enjoying my videos and my content and that they are being helpful for you, then throw the channel some support. Throw us a subscribe, throw us a like, throw us a comment, whatever it may be, and it will greatly help the channel grow, which is what I am wanting to do over the next 12 months to try and get it in the top 10 channels potentially that are creating content for Path of Exile 1 and 2. With that being said, let's jump into Ritual. Now the first thing that you're probably asking is, what is a ritual? Now, ritual altars can be randomly encountered while playing through the maps or through the storyline, and what happens is players must defeat enemies enclosed within the ritual circle, and in doing so they will then gain tribute in the process. Players can then spend this earned tribute to purchase various types of rewards that can vary from items to currency. When you have killed the monsters, you will then be presented with a reward screen that you will be able to see. However, it won't be fully complete because you will need to complete every ritual within the area. Now, players must kill monsters guarding the altar before being allowed to actually activate the ritual. Then, upon clicking the altar, the ritual begins and it encloses the area inside a circle, which you cannot leave until the ritual has been completed or you die. Monsters will spawn in multiple waves, and each wave will get harder than the last. And any tribute that is earned on every monster that is killed is obviously then helped towards you being able to buy any items. After killing all of the monsters within the rituals, or again you die, then the phase will then end and you can then loot the altar. Now all of the altars share a single spawn pool, so when an altar is activated, all of the dead monsters that are within that circle get added into the pool. Monsters that appear in the earlier altars will also reappear and give 40% reduced points every time they reappear. Now the reward penalty is additive. So for example, if the first monster that you kill, it will give you 100% points, the next one will give you 60, and the next one will give you 20, and the fourth one will give you nothing in terms of additive points. Now, once you have completed all of the rituals within a given area, and you can see how many rituals are within a given area based on the icon within your maps at the bottom right hand of your screen, it will say either 1 of 3 or 1 of 4, and it will tell you how many you should be looking for. Now, this is the Favour window, and what you will be using is tribute to buy items from this window. Now, tribute is based on the monsters that you kill. Now, you can re-roll and you can defer items from the window, but basically every single item will have its own cost. So for example, on this item here we have an omen, which on it has a future discount, a deferral fee, and a total cost. So that basically means that if you wanted to defer it now and you cannot afford to be able to buy it now, you can defer it to a later ritual and it will reappear in a future map, and that at that point it will have a reduction of its actual cost. You can defer an item as many times as you want until it is then more affordable for you to be able to buy it. The next thing you can do is you can just pick up and take items out of the window, but bearing in mind it will use your tribute. Another thing that you can do is you can re-roll the window if you don't like anything that is in the window at that moment in time, and you will then be rewarded and given a brand new set of rewards, which could either be worse or they could be better. That is totally RNG. To bear in mind, any tribute that you gain within a map is not transferred or taken over to another map. So if you are wanting to use as much favor as you can or as much tribute as you can to buy as many items as you can, you may as well use it, because once that map is complete, that tribute is gone. You will never see it again. Now in Path of Exile 2, as you can see on screen here, we are still going to be having omens, but the way that omens are going to be working in Path of Exile 2 is completely different to how they work in Path of Exile 1, and they seem to serve as a way of crafting with exalted orbs and other methods of crafting. In PoE 1, they are used for many of the things like raising portals, making sure that you lose less XP when you die, things like that. So that is the change for Ritual that I have seen. Other than that, this window and the tribute system and deferring items, I believe, is still all of the same in functionality for Path of Exile 2. Now, one such reward that you can be offered whilst in the Favour menu is a certain consumable item called an Audience with the King. Now, there was some footage from the LA gameplay where the icon and the currency item looks exactly the same. It has the same art and it has the same design. This is the currency item that we speak of, an Audience with the King. What this will do is it will open a portal to the pinnacle boss, which would be the King in the Mists. Now, just to give you a bit of a rundown of the actual fight, there is 2, maybe 3 phases of the fight, however you look at it. So as you enter the boss room, you will obviously be met with the King in the Mists. You then have to then kill him, and you have to take him down to around about 30% life. Once you've took him down to 30% life, then he will then transport you to another zone. Now, this is sometimes where people can start to get a bit lost. Now, the key to this is you need to follow the white dots. They will show you the direction that you need to go. If you ever get lost, follow another white dot and it will point you in the right direction. If you ever go the wrong way, it will then point you in the right direction and you're looking for the arena portal again. At which point then the King of the Mist is a bit pissed, and he then turns into a more evil version of the King of the Mist, and he will recover 100% of his life again. You then have to then kill him again, and at that point you are then done. I feel that this fight is going to be very similar to the one that we're going to be getting in Path of Exile 2 with no real changes. They may add in a few more spicy mechanics, maybe a few more skill interactions, just because it's Path of Exile 2, but we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Now, the final mechanic that's used within Ritual is blood-filled vessels. So you will pick up ritual splinters, which will then combine to be a vessel. If you then put the vessel inside your map device at the same time as your actual waystone or map, all of the monsters within the rituals in your map will then be contained within a blood-filled vessel, which you can then combine and put into another map to make it a little bit more juicy and a little bit more filled with monsters. Now, there has been no confirmation whether these are returning in Path of Exile 2, but just in case they are, I just thought I'd give you a bit of a TLDR on how they work, and it's something that can be added to your maps to make them a little bit more dense and have more monster density within your actual rituals. It doesn't add any monsters to the map, it only adds them to the actual ritual encounters. So instead of having maybe 100% monsters, you may have 300% monsters, just because you have brought in all of the monsters from your last map. And that is basically it, guys, in terms of Ritual. It's a fairly basic mechanic with a bit of a gambling mechanic in there with the re-rolling, buying items with your tribute, and obviously seeing what you can defer if you can't afford it. So if you see something expensive, just defer it for a later map, at which point then it will be cheaper and you might be able to then buy it outright. That is it for the video, guys. I will be doing Expedition tomorrow. So if you want to come back for Expedition, then keep an eye on the channel, throw us a subscribe, and keep an eye out for that video tomorrow. Until then, guys, thank you for watching and stay sane.